Welcome to the InfoBrokerWorld podcast, where business intelligence meets global strategy, empowering entrepreneurs with the insights they need to stay ahead.
When we talk about trademark protection in today's global economy, one message cannot be stressed enough. Registering a trademark is not the finish line, it's the starting point. And from that moment on, the real work begins. The strategic, continuous work of monitoring and defending what is often a company's most valuable intangible asset. We live in a world where digital platforms, e-commerce, and social media have accelerated the pace at which brands operate, and at which they're imitated, misused, and counterfeited. In this environment, trademark monitoring, often called policing your mark, is not optional. It's a foundational responsibility. Trademark monitoring means systematically scanning the marketplace for new trademark applications and unauthorized uses that might conflict with your rights. It's the only way to ensure your brand retains the thoughts, feelings, and associations it has worked so hard to earn, and that effort starts with structure. The first step in any monitoring program is defining the scope. What exactly needs to be monitored? Which trademarks, word marks, logos, slogans, product names are most critical to your business? And in which markets do you operate or plan to expand? The strategy must align with your business footprint. That includes understanding international classification systems like the NIS classification, which governs the categories your trademarks are registered under. Once you've outlined the scope, the real work of monitoring begins. This involves a combination of tools, both traditional and cutting-edge. At the base level, businesses must routinely search trademark registers in relevant jurisdictions. Offices like the UKIPO, EUIPO, DPMA, YPO, and others. But it's important to remember, these offices don't automatically notify you when a similar mark is filed. That responsibility is entirely on the trademark owner. If you're not looking, no one else will do it for you. Then there's the digital landscape. Monitoring online channels is absolutely essential. That means e-commerce sites like Amazon, Alibaba, and eBay, social media platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and new domain name registrations across an ever-expanding internet. Even paid search ads and keyword placements must be monitored to detect whether competitors or bad actors are capitalizing on your brand name. AI-powered tools now play a critical role in this process. They scan millions of product listings, images, and web pages in real time, identifying potential conflicts not just by identical names, but by similarities in sound, meaning, or visual style. They generate alerts instantly. They flag high-risk cases. They even help predict where future infringements might emerge, giving businesses the power to act preemptively. Some providers, like CoreSearch, BrandShield, Markify, and others, offer global coverage and sophisticated tracking. AI is also expanding its reach, now covering non-traditional trademarks like sounds, scents, and even digital assets in the metaverse, NFTs, and blockchain ecosystems. The boundaries of trademark protection are shifting, and technology is helping us keep pace. Once alerts are received, the critical phase of evaluation begins. Not every match is a threat. Some alerts might reference unrelated goods or services. Others might fall into different industries. That's why it's so important to assess the severity of each alert. Does the mark look or sound similar? Is it used in the same context? Would it cause confusion in the minds of consumers? If the answer is yes, swift action is needed. Often, this begins with a cease-and-desist letter. Many conflicts can be resolved at this level, quickly and without escalating to formal legal proceedings. But if the conflict involves a newly filed trademark, opposition proceedings may be appropriate. These have short deadlines, typically 3 months from the date of publication, and must be handled quickly. If a conflicting mark has already been registered, cancellation or invalidity proceedings may be necessary. Grounds include non-use, misleading distinctiveness, or conflicts with older rights. And in serious cases, where none of these routes succeed, litigation may be the only option. While costly, it becomes necessary when brand identity is at risk. alternative solutions also exist. In some cases, rebranding or coexistence agreements can be negotiated, offering both parties room to operate under specific conditions. But these require clear legal boundaries and mutual trust, and they must be carefully structured. All of this underscores one simple truth: brand protection is not a one-time action. It's a cycle. Monitoring leads to detection. Detection leads to analysis. Analysis leads to enforcement. And that cycle continues, year after year. Maintaining your registrations is part of this cycle too. Trademarks must be renewed, typically every 10 years, and proof of genuine use must often be submitted. Failing to do this means losing protection altogether. Another key component? Preventing your trademark from becoming generic. This happens when the public starts using your brand name as a general term for a category. Think of Kleenex or Google. Avoiding this requires consistency, clear brand messaging, and educating both consumers and third parties on how your trademark should and should not be used. Good documentation is essential. Keeping records of all alerts, actions taken, and enforcement decisions helps build a solid foundation for legal defense. It also proves, beyond doubt, that you are actively defending your rights. And because the marketplace is always changing, your strategy must evolve with it. Regularly review your reports. Adjust your monitoring scope based on new products, regions, or competitors. And train your internal teams to understand the role trademarks play in protecting brand value. That brings us to the final and most important point: expertise. While in-house teams are essential, there are moments when outside counsel makes all the difference. Trademark attorneys bring deep legal insight, strategic clarity, and global perspective. They help you prioritize threats, navigate disputes, and ensure compliance across borders. Specialized service providers bring automation, global monitoring, and scalable solutions that few internal teams can replicate. In the end, a well-structured monitoring program does more than just protect against infringements. It empowers decision-makers with market intelligence. It reinforces brand reputation. It prevents costly conflicts. And it strengthens your legal position, both now and in the future. In short, trademark monitoring transforms brand protection from a legal task into a strategic function, one that supports growth, enhances brand equity, and secures your business in a competitive global landscape. And that's why, in a world where your brand travels faster and farther than ever before, you don't just register a trademark, you defend it, relentlessly, intelligently, and continuously.
Thank you for listening to the InfoBrokerWorld podcast. If you have any questions about today's topic, feel free to reach out via the contact details in the show notes. This podcast was created using AI tools. If you're interested in producing your own AI-driven podcast, from concept to audio, feel free to get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay informed and stay ahead.